Good morning children. Once again we are here to discuss about the subject verb agreement. Before this, the first video which you have seen, it contained about the 6 rules and the general rule of subject verb agreement. Now in this video we are going to deal about the 10 important rules. Okay, so let's start without wasting any time. The first rule says use of collective noun in a sentence. Whenever there is a collective noun as a subject, then the verb will be singular. Okay, let's see the example. The family is driving across the country this summer. Now family is a collective noun, as a subject it is used here. So what will be the verb? Singular. That's why we have used is. Now family, there could be 4, 5, any number of members in a family. So family is a collective noun in a subject form. So we have used verb singular. Let's see the next. The couple eat out once a month. Now couple here is a collective noun. You know couple means two. So it's in a your subject form. And what is the verb we have used? Eat, in a singular verb. Okay. Now there is an exceptional to this rule. What's that? That a plural verb is used if the members are acting as individuals. It means that the subject, if they are acting as a singular or then we have to use the plural noun. See the example. The family are each doing a different task. Now the family is a collective noun, plural form, but it is acting as an individual. Now there could be 2 family, 3 family who are doing a task. It means that everyone in the family, each family is doing some different tasks. So it is in a individual form and we are using the verb plural, that is are. The couples are taking separate cars to work today. Now over here the couples means, we know one couple means 2, so there could be many couples, but they are acting as an individual. We are talking about the all couples as a one. Okay, that means this couple is your subject and the plural will your verb will be plural form, that is are. Okay, when it is collective noun only, then it will be singular, but the collective noun when they are talking about individuals, here we were talking about this particular family and particular couple, but over here we are talking about the many 2, 3 families and many couples, then we are using plural form. Got it? Now let's see the next rule. Okay, use of gerund infinitive in sentence, then we use singular verb. Now children, whenever there is a gerund or infinity in a sentence, then the verb will be singular. Now do you remember what is gerund? The ing form of the verb which is used as noun. Okay, so this gerund will be your subject. See the example. Okay, swimming is good exercise. Now swimming is a gerund over here and subject, so what we have used? Singular verb is. Walking is a good habit. Walking, gerund, subject, and the verb will be singular, so is. Okay, now infinitive. Do you remember I told gerund or infinitive in a sentence, then we use singular verb. And what is infinitive? 2 plus base form of the verb. Remember? Now in example, to dance is her hobby. Now to dance is an infinitive and what the verb we have used here is singular is. Clear? So whenever there is a use of gerund or infinitive in a sentence, then what do we use? We use singular verb, gerund and verb infinity as a subject. Okay, now the third rule, what it is? It says about use of error of proximity. What is this error of proximity? Now in a sentence we have noun 1 and noun 2. Okay, if a sentence when there are 2 nouns, that is noun 1, noun 2 as a subject, the first noun will be your proper subject and second noun will be your second subject, but the verb will agree with the second subject. Do you remember in the first 6 rules I have also told somewhat rule like this, that there will be 2 subject but the verb will agree with the subject near to it. Okay, it is the same thing. There will be 2 subject, proper subject and one more subject, but the verb will agree with the subject near to it. Okay, let's see the example. The details of the accident are unknown. Now what is the main subject here? Accident. And which is the another subject here? That is details. Now can you say details in this plural form? That is why we have used here are. Okay. Now if the second noun is singular, then we will use singular verb. I will show you the example. The quality of the mangoes was not good. The main subject over here is mangoes. Okay, and this is your first subject. The second subject is quality. Now can you see quality is in the singular form? So we have used the verb singular, was. So if the second subject is your plural, then the verb will be plural. If the second subject is singular, then the verb will be singular. Got it? This was the third rule. Now let's see the fourth. It says when there is a use of prepositional phrases that separates the subject. Now if your prepositional phrases separate the subject from the verb, they do not affect the verb. Very confusing, not understood? Let's see the example, you will clear it out. Like for example, the perspective of different people varies from time to time. Now in this sentence you can see that different people is your prepositional phrases. Okay, and what are the two subjects? Perspective and varies. Now this different people separates these two words, one is before it and one is after it, but it doesn't make any difference because of this. They are same, what the singular form, plural form, whatever form they have to become, they are in the same form. No changes because of this different people. Okay, let's see one more example. The fear of terrorists and militants has made them flee the city. That means flee means moving out of the city. Okay, now fear of terrorist and millions. Now terrorist and millions is the prepositional phrases. Okay, now what are the subject? Fear and has. Now because of this, now these are in plural form, but fear and has are used in a singular form. So this plural form doesn't make any difference, any changes in this subjects, sorry, in this verb. That's why it is in singular. Fear is singular, that's why has is singular. So this plural form doesn't make any differences. Okay, now this different people is also in plural form, but perspective is in singular, so where is it in singular? It doesn't make any difference. Okay, this is the rule 4. Now we will be learning about rule 5. Okay, it says in a sentence when we have to use of here or there in a sentence, then the verb will be used accordingly. Like if it is singular verb in a sentence along with here and there, then the singular verb will be used. If the subject is singular, then the verb will be singular. Subject is plural, then the verb will be singular. Let's see the example. There are hurdles to jump. Now see, there is there, but your subject is are. That's why verb is also are. That means plural form. Okay, there is a high hurdle to jump. There, but is in singular form, so hurdle is also in singular form. Here are the boys. Again here, there and here, but are is in plural form, that's why keys in the plural form. Okay, if singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. Very easy to learn, isn't it? Now let us look at the 6th rule. What it says? It says when we use of distances, period of time, sums of money as a subject, then the singular verb will be considered as unit. It means as one. Let's see. Example, 3 miles is too far to walk. Now 3 miles, it's in plural form, but it is used as a single subject. Consider as unit. That means 1 unit. That is why we have used singular verb, that is. Okay? Got it? If your anything regarding distance, period of time, that means 4 years, 5 years, 1 year, 10 years, whatever, sum of money, anything is there, this will be considered as 1 unit and the verb will be used as singular. Okay, let's see another. See, period of time 5 years. 5 years is the maximum sentence for that offense. Now 5 years is used as a 1 unit. It is considered as a unit. That's why the verb is used singular. Okay. Anything regarding distance, period of time or sums of money is there, that, remember children, it will be considered as 1 unit, singular, and the verb will be used accordingly singular. Okay. But a exceptional is in this rule. It says when there is a plural verb not considered as unit. When the verb is in plural form, it won't be considered in a singular unit. There is an example. $10 were scattered on the floor. Now $10, okay, it means $10. It means $1 when you add, it becomes $10. So those $10 were scattered on the floor. So it's a plural verb. That's why it is not considered as a single unit, and we use the verb as a plural verb. Got it? When there is a distance time period as a singular, then we use a singular verb, but if it is in plural, then we use it as a plural. When it is not considered as a unit, when it is in plural verb. Okay. If this is plural, this will be considered as a, it won't consider it as 1 unit. Okay. This was all about 6th rule. Now let us look at the 7th rule. It says use of none for singular and plural verb. Whenever in a sentence, when you find none is used, then the verb will be singular and plural. Now when this is clear, when used alone, when none is used alone, only none is there in a sentence, then it will be used in a singular form. If it is in plural, then we will be using plural form. But if the none in a sentence is used with a prepositional phrase, if it is used in a prepositional phrase, then it will be used as a singular verb and a plural verb. If the phrases is in singular, then it will be singular. If the phrase is in plural, then we will use the plural verb. Okay. Let's see the example. With a prepositional phrase. Okay. This is quite tough for you to understand, so I have shown you this. Now, if none with a prepositional phrase, the first structure, none of the singular noun, singular verb. We will first see the singular of the singular noun and singular verb. Okay, let's see the example. None of my stamp collection, singular noun, has lost its value, has a singular verb. Okay, now you can see this is your prepositional phrase. It is in singular noun, that's why the verb is singular. Okay, got it? Now the second structure, which is of plural, none plus, I forgot to give the plus mark. Okay, plus, none plus of the plus plural noun plus plural verb. Now see, none of my stamps have lost their value. Now stamp here is a prepositional phrase, but it is in plural noun, so the verb is used plural. Okay, understood this prepositional phrases? Okay. Now note one thing children, if no plus plural noun is there, then we will use plural verb. No plus plural noun, like no men are hungry noun. Men plural noun, so the verb will be plural. Got it? No. Okay, remember. Now let us look at the 8th rule. What it says? It says that in a sentence, when we use of each and every in a sentence, and each and every is connected with and, then we need singular verb. Okay, it is connected with and. Now let's see the example. Every boy and every girl was given a packet of sweets. Okay, now you can see the every is there, and it is connected with and. So what is the verb you have used? Was. Okay, boy and girl are plural, but it is connected with and, using with every, but we have used was in place of were. Okay, got it? One more example. Every man and every woman is kind in that family. See, every is used connected with and, but verb we have used singular, that is. Okay, this was the 8th rule, that each and every in a sentence when it is there and connected with and, that means the use of every with and, then we will use which verb? Singular verb. Okay, this was the 8th rule. Now look at the 9th rule. Use of most, most of, all of, a lot of, some of. If these words appear in a sentence, okay, there are now two cases regarding this. See, one is countable noun. Whenever there is a countable noun, we use plural verb, okay, and when there is uncountable noun, then we use singular verb. Like, see the example, some of the girls are cute. Now some of, can you say this? Some of is there in a sentence, but with a countable noun. We can count the girls, then it is countable. So what we have used? Plural verb, that is are. But uncountable we use singular, like some of the water is yet to be filled in the bottle. Some of, and the noun is your uncountable, water is uncountable. So what we have used as a verb is. Okay, clear? This is your 9th rule. Now we see the last rule, that is the 10th rule. It's about suffix. Okay, words where suffix is body, thing, one, like words ending with this three, like somebody, everybody, anybody, nobody, something, anything, nothing, everything, everyone, someone, anyone, no one. If the words in a sentence and has a suffix like body, thing and one, then the verb used will be singular. Okay, see the example. Someone has stolen my bag. See, someone, one, then the verb is has, singular. Something is better than nothing. Something, it is your suffix with thing, then the verb will be singular, that is. Okay, so easy. So this were the 10th rules. Let's revise all the rules once again. The first rule says that whenever there is a collective noun in a sentence, we use singular verb. See, family, collective noun, the verb is singular. In an exceptional case, we have learned that whenever there is a plural verb, if the members are acting as individual, there is a plural verb, but it acts as a individual, then we use it plural verb. The family, they are acting as there are many families but acting as an individual, so we have used plural verb. Okay, the next rule, it says whenever there is a gerund and infinitive in a sentence as a subject, then we use singular verb. So what is gerund? Gerund is ing form of the verb, like swimming is. Okay, and infinitive to plus base or form of the verb, so to dance is. So whenever there is a gerund infinitive, we use singular verb. Now see the third rule. Third rule says when there are two subjects, subject 1 and subject 2, if the proper subject, no matter what your main subject is, if your main subject is noun 1, subject 1 also, no matter of concern. If the subject 2 will be dealing with the verb, if a subject 2 is singular, then the verb will be singular. If the subject 2 is plural, then the verb will be plural. Okay. Fourth rule, it says whenever there is a proportional phrase, it will not make any difference or subject and the verb. Okay, if there is a proportional phrase in between, it will not have any effect on your subject and verb. Like see, terrorists and millions are plural, but fear and hazel singular. This is your subject and this is your verb. Similarly, different people, it's in plural, but this is singular and this is also singular. Okay, it will not affect anything. The fifth rule says that here and there in a sentence, then we use accordingly subject. If the subject is singular, then the verb will be plural, singular, and if the subject is plural, then the verb will be plural. Okay, if here and there are in a sentence, if the subject is singular, then the verb will be singular. If the subject is plural, then the verb will be plural. Okay, the sixth rule says when in a sentence we use of distance, period of time or sums of money is considered as a unit, as a one unit, then the singular verb is used. Okay, but exceptional is when they are not considered as a one unit, when it is in plural verb. If the verb is plural, it is not considered as one unit, but if it is in singular, it is considered as one unit. Understood? Seventh rule, it says whenever there is a use of none in your sentence for singular and plural verb, then we use it like when we use alone. None is used only in a sentence, then we use singular subject. Okay, if your none is there, then the subject will be singular. But if none is used with proportional phrase, with means addition, if the none is used with proportional phrase, then we use singular, and if it is in plural, then we use plural. Like for example, in our first structure we have learned that if noun is singular, the verb will be singular. Okay, and if the noun is plural, then the verb will be plural. Okay, in a proportional phrase, if the noun is plural, the verb will be plural. In a proportional phrase, when noun is singular, the verb will be singular. And when it is used with only none is there in a sentence with no proportional phrase, then subject will be singular. Okay, the eighth rule, important note is that in rule number 7, whenever there is no, plural noun will be used with plural verb. Okay, no doubt in it. Now, eighth rule says whenever in a sentence there is each and every used with and, we will use singular verb. Each and every used with and, we will use singular verb. Okay. The ninth says in a sentence whenever we use most of, all of, a lot of, some of, and it is countable noun, then plural. If it is uncountable noun, then singular. Countable with some of, see some of, countable plural, uncountable singular. Okay. 10th and the last rule says whenever a word suffix is there added in a word, like suffix with suffix, body, time, thing and one, then we use singular one, like someone has, something has. Okay, so these are the 10th rules for subject verb agreement, additional to the 6th rule which we have learned in the previous video with a general rule. So these are the 16th rule which has to be followed by solving the subject verb agreement. If you have any doubt, you are free to ask to me. Okay, thank you.